Jamaica's justice system falls apart as Vybez Kartel walks free. 30 guns seized in Westmoreland since January of this year. Shericka Jackson withdraw from the 100 meters race at the Olympics. And the Reggae Boys get a new head coach. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Adidja Vybez Kartel Opama, Sean Storm Campbell, Kahira Jones, and Andre St. John have been freed by the Court of Appeal. The men who were convicted for the murder of Clive Lizard Williams on March 13 of 2014 had their convictions quashed 10 years and a day later by the UK-based Privy Council, who remitted the matter back to the Jamaica Court of Appeal for a decision to be made on whether the men should be retried. Yesterday, President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Marva MacDonald Bishop, announced the court's unanimous decision. She said despite seriousness of the case and the apparent barefaced defiance of law and order, the court had to also consider other factors, such as the length of time the men have already been in custody, the lapse in time between the committing of the alleged offense and a possible retrial, and the psychological and health impact on the appellant if a new trial were to be ordered. Defense lawyers, particularly for Vybez Kartel, had cited the dancehall artist's declining mental and physical health, noting his battle with Graves' disease. Jamaica's justice system just happens to be among the worst in the world. 30 illegal firearms have been seized in the Westmoreland Police Division since January, an increase of 12 when compared with the corresponding period last year. 14 of the firearms, including 7 high-powered military-grade assault rifles, were seized in the last 3 weeks. Alongside the firearms, more than 460 rounds of ammunition have been seized, marking a 5% increase over the similar period in the previous year. Commanding officer for the Westmoreland Division, Superintendent Othniel Dobson, said a key factor in these successes has been the consistent targeting of the notorious Kings Valley Gang. The Ministry of Education said there has been a noticeable decline in the number of teachers leaving the profession for overseas opportunity this summer. The country has been grappling with a shortage of teachers, especially in mathematics and the sciences, and this has forced the ministry to employ various methods to assist schools, including an expanding international recruitment program. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Kaysan Troop, said there have been fewer resignations this summer when compared with previous years. Meanwhile, security guard Sean Cole had his bail extended on Tuesday after being found guilty of killing Hale Clacken 7 years ago in Junction, St. Elizabeth. Following a trial that began on July 15, Cole was declared guilty by a 7-member jury in the St. Elizabeth Circuit Court, and he's to be sentenced on September 20 for that murder. Mr. Clacken, who was mentally ill, was fatally shot after he climbed atop a guardsman armored vehicle in Cheapside on June 23 of 2017. A St. Andrew man was freed of sexual assault and gun charges in the gun court in Kingston on Tuesday after the court was informed that he was in police custody at the time that the crimes he was accused of was supposed to have been committed. The prosecutor offered no evidence against Deason Berry following a case review prompted by defense counsel Shade Bailey. Bailey said that it was alleged that Berry sexually assaulted a woman at gunpoint on September 27 of 2021. And he was arrested in 2022, and when charged and cautioned by the police in relation to the allegations, Berry told investigators that he was in police custody at the time of the alleged sexual assault. And despite him informing the police of being in lockup, Berry was still brought before the courts. The complainant was reportedly allowed to even alter her statement and provided a different date. She gave October 31st of 2021, the second one of when she was allegedly assaulted by the accused. However, Berry was still in police custody on the second date the complainant provided as well. As a result, the Crown offered no further evidence as the investigation officer confirmed that Berry was in police custody on both dates provided by the complainant and had a clear alibi defense. Meanwhile, detectives in St. Anne are investigating a gun attack on 2 men on the Discovery Bay Main Road in St. Anne on Tuesday evening. The victims sustained bullet wounds and are being treated at hospital. And it's reported at about 7:45 p.m. the men were traveling in a recently purchased Toyota Mark X motor car with no registration plates affixed. And on reaching a section of the Discovery Bay Main Road in the vicinity of Discovery Bauxite Company, a silver Toyota motor vehicle drove up and blocked the path of the Mark X, forcing it to halt. Men alighted the silver Toyota and started firing in the direction of the Mark X. The 2 male occupants were then shot. They were later assisted to hospital, and we still don't know what the real motive is. Onto sports, Englishman Steve McLaren is the new head coach of the senior Reggae Boys team. The 63-year-old McLaren, who has left his role as assistant coach of Manchester United, got the nod from the JFF board over former Manchester United player and Premier League manager Steve Bruce. Jamaica's Reggae Boys are currently ranked 59th in the FIFA World Rankings and are next in action in September. McLaren's first assignment with the Reggae Boys will be against Cuba and Honduras in a pair of CONCACAF Nations League matches, and he has now signed a 2-year contract and will be tasked with qualifying the team for the 2026 FIFA World Cup to be co-hosted by the United States, Mexico, and Canada. And there is now horrors at the Olympics. Two-time 200 meters world champion Shericka Jackson will not be contesting the sprint double at the Olympic Games in Paris. Confirmation came yesterday from Jamaica's athletics team manager Ludlow Watts that the 100 meters bronze medalist from the Tokyo Olympics has not entered on the entry list for the 100 meters heat, which will get underway tomorrow. Sasha Lee Forbes is her replacement in the women's 100 meters, Watts added. He also noted that the decision was conveyed by Jackson's coach to Jamaica's technical leader Maurice Wilson. And this comes one day after founding MVP track and field club head coach Stephen Francis hinted that Jackson seemed fit and ready to compete while answering a group of Jamaican journalists. And we mentioned that yesterday that he said she was fit and ready to run both races. Now this means that debutant Tia Clayton, who enters the game on the back of a season-best 10.86 seconds, and two-time Olympic 100 meters champion Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce with a season's best of 10.91 seconds, will carry Jamaica's medal hopes in the Blue Ribbon event. American world champion Sha'Carri Richardson, who holds the world lead of 10.71 seconds, will start as a favorite for that event. So now we have no Shericka and no Elaine Hera for the 100 meters. Captain Fabian Reed scored a hat-trick as Arnett Gardens moved into the semi-final of the CFU Caribbean Club Shield with a 7-1 victory over John Holland of Curaçao in their quarterfinals game in that country on Tuesday. Reed gave Arnett Gardens the lead after just 5 minutes, and that advantage was doubled in the 9th minute when Jaheim Thomas made it 2-0. Reed returned for his second goal in first half stoppage time before completing his hat-trick in the 50th minute. Rasheek Nelson in the 70th, Kimani Airborne in the 82nd, and Roshane Thomas in the 90th got the other goals for the Arnett Gardens team. And don't forget that the best news and sports takes place on this radio station. If you missed the news, please go to YouTube, type in Jamerican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to keep us going. That's news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.